go to my homepage on my YouTube, get this thing shelled out, have a smoke with you guys, chat a little bit, and then I'm going to work. My channel. Okay, share. And copy link. Okay. And plus, this will be the few minutes that it takes for everybody to get in here. So that, create post. Live now. Who knows for how long? Select all, copy, posted to Getter. Hello, whoever that is. I need to tap the live chat button. And nobody's talking yet. That's good. Give me a few seconds. I have a bunch of Discords that I have to show this to. And then as I said, I'll have a smoke and then a chat with you guys. In the meantime, any questions, and I mean anything you want to ask, feel free. Let's see here. I promise you that I will never ban any of my subscribers because I'm not a pussy like Hassan Piker. Let's see. Sasquatch says, I packed a cigarette on my camera lens. Why Squatch got angry with me? Kingdom of Finland, does Canada include taxes in the price? I know Europe doesn't. It's something that the US should do. Are you talking about VAT, value-added tax, or something like you have a sticker price and that's the full price you pay? Okay, that's done there. Yeah, I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 Discords to, yeah, we've got taxes on our taxes too. The taxation system in both our countries is absolutely fact. Okay. And I do apologize for the slightly dead air while I'm doing this. I'm assuming you guys can hear me okay. I'm speaking a little bit loud today because it's quite windy outside. And extra IRS agents, yeah, that's disturbing. Kingdom is saying sticker price being the flat price. No, here in Canada, we have some interesting taxation systems. Most of the provinces and territories apply tax as a sales tax, which is generally listed as a PST. I don't know about Yukon and the other two territories, whether they have something like a TST, a territorial sales tax. Here in Newfoundland, we have a 10% provincial sales tax, and federally there's a 5% GST, which is goods and services tax, which is absolutely insane. Let's see. Christopher Everett says, hello, you sexy woodworker, fellow trans Texan. Howdy. What's this one? Sales tax, income tax, death tax, gas tax, fucking capital gains tax. Yeah. The thing that really irritates me about the tax system in both our countries. Oh, just a second. The thing that really irritates me about the tax system in both our countries, Sasquatch, is that payroll is taxed when the employer pays you, and you are taxed when you get paid. So you're already double dipped before you ever even see that money. And then there's income tax. Well, that is income tax, actually. Sorry. Lost my brain for a second there. Get this thing shelled out fast. Oh, somebody mentioned me somewhere. Oh, just a second. I'm also being... I'm being attacked without defenses. That's fine. It's some tiny Scottish woman making fun of my thumbnails again. I don't care. The worst thing about Discord is that there is such a low universality of channel naming that it's occasionally very difficult to figure out exactly where I should be posting the link for this. Okay, and I'm sure I've missed comments. Gas tax because the state can't buy fuel in bulk. Well, the states should, both our states, yours and mine, should be fucking producing all the oil we should ever need. It's absolute bullshit. This whole climate carbon thing. This isn't solving the problem. All you're doing is offloading the responsibility for it to another country, in this case China, or India, or Saudi Arabia. It's retarded. Make better oil the way Canada does. That's all. Easy. And you actually end up employing more people. Go figure. More jobs. That'll give us more tax revenue. See, I don't necessarily have a problem with being taxed. I have a problem with the degree to which we're taxed. And just about done here. Fortunately, the last thing I did on Discord was show out the Shades of Dominion's last live stream with my buddy Cass, so that was very good. It's quite enjoyable to see two of my friends on a YouTube stream together, and knowing that I talk to both of these people behind the scenes makes me feel kind of connected to celebrity, I guess. Road to 1,000 subs. Oh gods. If it happens. Caucasian Sasquatch says if it's spent on the energy sector, it just vanishes. Kingdom of Inland, no taxation without representation. Yeah, technically we're represented, and we're still getting way overtaxed. Taxes are meant. Bug 159 says taxes are meant to be used on the people, not to blow people across the world. Yeah. My thinking has moved more pro-monarchy. Christopher Everard says, remember that I offered you an interview proposition, Ardent? Yes, you did. And, God, I'd have to look at Discord again. Let me check my messages real quick, Christopher, just to make sure I'm not snubbing you, because I don't mean to if I did. Okay, good enough. You said you were at a convention anyway, so that's cool. At least I think that was... Oh, that was a while ago. Best thing to do, email me. I'll check it, oh God, sometime this evening, and we'll set something up. I don't know if I'd really be a great subject for interviewing anyway, but we'll see. Okay, so I'm finally done that. Let me check my chat, see what everybody's been saying. Yeah, we all hate taxes. Let's see. Okay, I don't think I missed anything. Tax to pay, then at cashing, then at spending at different rates. Yeah, plus then you have bank fees added on top of that. Hi, Prime Knight. Nice to see you. My one and only wrench. Though that was more just to make sure I didn't end up with a pile of Russian sex bots spamming my chat. Oh, that's right. Can't not pull the dick move now that Sasquatch is here. And to be honest, I really don't see it as a dick move. I just saw it as a way to be somewhat distinctive. What the first or second time I did it, someone pointed it out, and it was one of those things that don't mention carbs. I'm trying to stick to my sort of keto, and it's so bloody hard because I'm buying burgers because they're cheap, just the patties, and it's, they're actually not bad. A burger and an egg together, pretty good if you fry them in the same pan, but burgers without any sort of carb with them is really weird. I'm getting used to it, but it's really weird. Holy crap, it's getting bright out. Oh, and my neighbor has a white house. That's right in my eyes. Okay, you want to schedule something for early October? That'll work because I'm thinking I might take a couple of weeks in October and just avoid burnout. And because I don't I don't do the whole Christmas thing, so like I'll spend time with family and stuff, but I want to keep working through the Christmas season. I figure I'm also hopeful that I'll pull a few subs that way. Neighbor has a White House. Hell of a pun. Yeah, yeah. Actually, yes, and not an intentional one. Yeah, the weather today is doing funny things. We've got a lot of sun, rain, cloud, pretty much all at the same time. Caucasian says he can't find his channel. He's a ghost. I need to scroll back here and see what... if you're talking about Christopher Everard, you have to be careful not to let autocorrect put that second E in there. It's Evrard, and yeah. Autocorrect kept sending me to something strange a few times. So, what I've got done, just to give you guys the synopsis, or what I'm planning to do today, and I'll actually show you one of the things I'm going to be doing. That block I'm going to split in half. That's going to be the backing for the bookends that I'm making. I have one horn currently glued in. What I'll be doing once that glue is more or less set, yeah, this is going to be fairly short. All I'm going to be doing today is getting this cut and shaped and burned. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to burn all the way around. I may not. I may do just the edges and leave the center unburned, because that'll give me a sort of rough shape. Like, it won't be perfectly flat around the edge, and that should help with friction for the books. I think. Maybe not. I don't know. Another possibility is to rough the get the two pieces mated together and then rough the bottom with some sandpaper, something fairly low grit number. Let's see. Anyway, I'll finish talking about this before I go back to chat. Sorry, I don't want to get unfocused again, even though it is kind of my trademark. So what I'll be doing is cutting this in half, and then cutting it again to match the width of the blocks that I have set for the horns. Once that's done, I'll be mating them up. The horns will project significantly above the backs. Oh, okay, Christopher's just linking his, or Prime Knight is linking Christopher's channel. Thank you, Prime. Oh goodness. Yeah, the horns are going to project significantly higher than the backs of the bookends. So what I'm thinking I will do is, once I have those cut, I'm going to do a little bit of a sloped... oh, Caucasian's already subbed. Excellent. So I'm going to do a little bit of a sloped back on those, so that when you're looking at the back, instead of being perfectly square, they're going to be sloped slightly this way, so that when a book falls over or pushes against it, it'll actually act with that physics force downward. Cool. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So what I'm going to have to do is, you can see the mark there for, well, you can't really, there you go. You can see the pencil mark there for splitting it in half. That's just a rough estimate. This is way more material in this dimension than I actually need. So what will happen is I will probably measure the two blocks together and then do a close a close cut, so that when I make them up, I can just sand them and then do another superficial burn and sand. Okay. Since you guys are shilling each other's channels, go check out Christopher's, excuse me, for pop culture stuff. Go check out Primed for some Buhurt. I suppose I'm saying that right. Buhurt. Buhurt. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be rolling that R. Don't worry about being a nice guest. You'll be, I have no doubt. Just tone down the politics a bit. We'll see. There you go, medieval MMA. I wasn't sure if I should describe it as HEMA or something else, but I do like the idea of calling it medieval MMA, because guys in armor kicking each other in the head, yeah, that's about appropriate. I think what I might do, it's too nasty outdoors for the table saw, and that's actually too high for the table saw in any case. So I think I may find a more dense piece of wood. I have some way heavier pieces here. This piece, for example, is really dense compared to this piece, which is like a feather. And I don't know why they're both... No, hang on. Let me get that out of my hand. They're both 2x4, but one is significantly denser than the other. And they appear to be the same wood. Although I would say that this one was probably harvested from closer to the center of the tree. Actually, I think I might not. I want to get this finished today. So I will probably cut that and I may have to do some slightly risky stuff. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, so that's the plan for that. I finished my cigarette, so I might as well get up. There we are. I did see your question about flying jackets. Let me go back through the chat here. Okay. Kingdom of Inland asks, do you like flying jackets? I've never seen one fly, but I'd be interested. I know. I found a company that makes replica flying jackets from Denmark, and a YouTuber that does leather jacket art. So he does art on leather jackets, or he makes art using leather that he turns into jackets. Let's see. Bomber jackets. Fuzzy collar has patches. Christopher Everard says there's a big scene of medieval MMA in France and Belgium. The medieval MMA thing seems to be catching on everywhere. There's a HEMA group here in St. John's. There's a fencing group. Oh, I've got that camera a little too far back. Let's turn you. Oh, a little bit of trash on the floor for some reason. Okay, that should be good. Now, bring that down. Let's see, where am I working? I'm working not here. I'm actually working over on the saw, so I shouldn't have bothered to bring it over this way at all. Okay, then. Bear with me as I bumble around a little bit and juggle cables and things. So I want to keep that plugged in. How's the sound, guys? Is the sound okay? Or do I need to keep speaking loudly like this? Let's see, all my fur collars. Thanks for the channel link. Okay. Little lower, I think. There we are. Okay. This. And I'll need my glasses, which are in the locker. Oh. So yeah, you guys talk amongst yourselves while I'm getting dressed. Oh, I do have one thing to do before I do the cut. And since I'm going to have to throw away a pair of earplugs, which I know makes me sound extremely cheap, I'm going to do a bit of burning first. So let's get the angle and get my torch. think I have to refill. No, I think the torch is okay. Okay, so as before, I'm going to be burning the center of this, using it to using the properties of flame and mass loss to make that hole just big enough to fit that horn. First things first, though, I need to know exactly how much of that horn I need to lose. Okay, before I do that, I'm actually going to mark this and take the... oh, I guess you guys would like to see what I'm doing. I'm just going to mark around the rim of the horn here. And get that hole expanded a little bit with the rotary tool before I do any burning. That's not too bad. And for the record, when I'm sketching, I'm actually sketching on the inside of the mark I've made so that I have room to, as always, sneak up on the cut. Okay. You'll notice I've already taken the tape off of the horn as well. In fact, let's bring that horn back over so it's on camera, because that's slightly more dynamic than my face. Move those. Okay. Yep. I guess I am going to need my hearing protection after all. Fortunately, this time I'm putting my earplugs in well before I get my fingers dirty. Last time I had some interesting experiences with a Q-tip when I went back to the house. Okay. And I still have the same bit in my rotary tool from before. Now. Okay. Actually, something else that I was going to do that I forgot to keep set up is this. Clamps. I'm actually going to move this out of the way. As you can see, that's pretty stable in there. There is some glue underneath it just for the sake of security. If I end up selling it and it gets shipped any distance, it's going to need to be sturdy enough to survive transport. Okay. Too far. Okay. This will be your audio warning, guys. Guess I don't have that quite as pinched as I thought I did. Still a bit loose. Let me wedge that in there. And I should have a wedge handy, actually. There. Okay. Oh my. Things I've forgotten. There we are. That shouldn't go anywhere now. Okay, you guys can't actually see what I'm doing. Just 1 second. I think I might even get away with bringing it right down there. There we go. Okay, so that should be plenty for a burn. Check the fit again. It's pretty close, so we'll do a test burn. Oops. And we'll see what we end up with. Which means I need to rearrange the camera again. Okay. And, yeah, I think I can pull these out now. Oh, I can feel my brain. I'll keep the glasses on, though. Now. Yeah, it's almost impossible to predict what our weather is doing today. Hey, who's it? Well, of course I did. On the upside, it's fire hardened, so it didn't take a dent. Now, the worst thing about this is I want to hold this tight enough to keep it secure, but not so tight. And I can show you using this piece of extra that I had. But I don't want to hold it so tight that it starts to leave tool marks. So, and part of the reason I'm doing it on the sides, even though I did just have it on the top and bottom a minute ago, is because, there we are, I think. Yeah, that should be okay. I don't think it's sinking into the surface. Part of the reason I'm holding it on the sides is because if I do end up leaving tool marks, they'll be aligned with the grain, so they'll be a little harder to see. Though this is going to be a bit of an awkward work today. And again, as usual, all I'm doing is just burning the edges of that cut to get it blackened, which will give the illusion of a continuous edge. Okay, so I'm going to give that a few seconds to cool. There are some tool marks, but as I said, they're kind of hard to see. So we'll let that sit to cool for a bit. Check the pliers aren't hot, which they aren't, fortunately. Then I'll do a little bit of sanding with a little piece of paper, and yeah, hopefully then I'll be done. Well, not done, but done that step. Okay. Sorry about that, just had to turn my phone over so I didn't get it full of sawdust. Let's see what's been said here. There's jacket art thing. Sound is fine. Excellent. Thank you, Sasquatch. I appreciate it. Boohurt has gotten a lot of attention the last 3 or 4 years and grown exponentially. Renaissance Festival here. It's where the weird people live. Yeah, or weird people meet. Yeah, I used to love Ren fairs when I lived in Alberta. Because when I was in the SCA in university, I did a lot of non-Olympic fencing. Very much enjoy it. Sword and dagger, or, well, to be fair, foil and mangoche, but sword and dagger, basically. Really enjoyed that. Let's see. Emerald FX GTS. Damn, when did you become so handsome? I've always been handsome. What are you talking about? I'm ginger. We're all gorgeous. Prime Knight says, don't use the same earplugs for too long. You can get ear infections. That's why you should clean in earbuds as well. Yeah, definitely clean your earbuds. I don't use earbuds. I find that I do get infections using earbuds. Not because I use them over and over, but simply because the shape of my ears, I guess, is different than what most earbuds are made for. And I find they get very irritated very easily. With the earplugs, generally, if I'm working, like actually doing a proper job working, I use the earplugs from, I'll use one set beginning of the day to the break. Now this is assuming, of course, that these aren't custom made, properly fit earbuds, or earplugs rather. These little foam things, you notice one is purple, the other is orange. I have earrings in this ear. I put the orange one in the same ear as my earrings. Not because I'm some sort of weird OCD freak, sometimes, but because it's just a quick mnemonic to remember which ear to put which earplug in, so that I'm not changing from ear to ear. If, for example, I happen to have an infection in this ear, I won't transfer it. So in the run of a regular work day, what I would do, say I start at 8 o'clock, from 8 to first break for smoke, whatever, I'll use one set of earplugs. Now, this is assuming that the shop provides earplugs. Quite a lot of them do. And they really should, because that's a safety issue. But the first set goes in the garbage. I go have my smoke, give my ears time to breathe, go back, put a new set in, same color coding. Generally what I'll do is try to, if it's a multicolored pack of earbuds, like those dispensers that go on the wall, I will try to get 2 different colors. And if, for example, say there's an orange one and a purple one, for lack of better examples, I will stick to those and color code them accordingly. Usually the lighter color goes with the earplugs, or the redder color goes with the earplugs, or with the earrings rather. With these, not an issue. It's a pack that's got 2 separate chambers. One is orange, one is purple. And as far as I know, there's nothing different about either of them. So, and they're only 32 decibels when used as directed. As directed is put them in your ear. But yeah, no, it's definitely a good idea for your hygiene, just for your overall health, to make sure that you don't switch back and forth too much. Jacket, French it's called behurd. Okay. Funny to see the English name. Yeah, okay. Jacket art thing. Kingdom of Vinland says, in regards to the jacket art thing, I mean like painting art on the jackets, like the stuff you'd see in World War II nose art. Oh yeah, I love that kind of old throwback pinup stuff. There was a set of cards put out commemorating the art of a guy called Gil Elvgren. Oof, how old was I? 16, 17? I'd never heard of this artist before, and those cards were absolutely gorgeously done, and they were sexy girls, because they were pinup cards, so can't blame me. Let's see. Christopher Everett says in French it's called Behour. Funny to see the English name. He also says, here goes the Newfoundland grown man playing with his wood again. Yeah, I know. Such an exhibitionist. Prime Knight says Christopher Everett has more history than one might think. I'm in the progress of losing weight, gaining muscle, getting armor is like getting a suit. If I lose 20k, it will be too loose. Yep. Kingdom says he'd love to have a leather flying jacket. Says he's thinking an M422A or G1 jacket. I'm not sure what those are. Prime Knight responding to Christopher Everett. From what I've seen, it's almost like sumo wrestling, heavy on the endurance. Yeah, you definitely need your cardio up for Boohart. G1 was kind of jacket Maverick has, and the M422. Okay, I see. Okay, it's models of jacket. Let's see. Christopher Prime Knight says in team fights it's all about being last man standing. In pro fights and duels, it's a lot more about skill. Sasquatch doesn't care for my rotary tool, apparently. Eddie Gannon. Hi, Eddie. Nice to see you. Hi from Ireland. Hi from Newfoundland. We have been issued Peltor Bluetooth headphones. Okay. Is that earphones or what? I've played with the idea of getting noise canceling headphones so I can listen to or earphones rather, so I can listen to music. The last thing I need is to be distracted by music. So generally, when I'm doing stuff like this, I treat it as meditation. So it's basically soundless, and I just kind of turn my brain off, except for what's okay. Noise canceling headphones, yeah. So yeah, generally I just turn my brain off to everything outside of what I'm doing. And that should be. What's? Uh-oh, that's not good. I think I may have burned a little too deep on one end. Let's see what we got here. No, we're good. Okay. So I'll give you guys back the work table, and you can watch what I'm doing again. So all I'm doing here is just scrubbing off the extra soot on the outside. That just takes a little. And I might have gone a little crazy there, but that's okay. I will be doing a final burn and sand on this stuff anyway. So the color is not super, super important at this point. And I don't think I got quite deep enough into that. But we'll see what happens now when I do this. There we are. Now, I'll give you the noise warning again, guys. But this time, because I've got soot in there, I'm going to be grabbing my mask. So you won't hear me talking at all for a little while. And if you do, I may sound a little more like Darth Vader.
Now, Martin McFly, my name is Darth Vader. Just to show you guys how you test these things, when you're breathing out, this is where your breath goes. When you're breathing in, it goes through these two ports here. So if you suck in and the mask doesn't pull against your face, then you have a problem with your intake. If you breathe out, your mask, if you block this valve and you breathe out and the air doesn't come up against your eyes, you also have a problem. Also, I find your lack of faith disturbing. Also, with these, every now and again, you want to pull this thing off and blow real hard to make sure that you're not building up moisture inside that valve, because that is that's a bacterial vector. While I haven't done it lately, because I haven't been wearing this a lot, this is actually off-center, which isn't cool. Okay, we're good. Just getting this centered on my head more than anything. Oh, that's what's going on. That retainer slipped down in the way. It's not quite as tight as I'd like it, so just give me a second here. What's really funny is when I speak now, I can hear a bass thump in my ear. Come on. Move that retainer all the way back. What is going on there? Oh, there's no twist in the strap. It should be traveling fine. I might have gotten a bit of varnish on it, I suppose. Well, I think this is tight enough. To be honest, I never wore a mask for most of COVID. I'm not afraid of bugs, I'm afraid of chemicals. Now, okay. Let's get the ears back on, the eyes back on, and, oh dear. Pocket lid, lovely. Oh well. Okay, I can hear that one expanding. And I can hear that one expanding. Good, 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 good. Okay. Let's see. Christopher says, same, I wore one when I couldn't escape at like hospital or store. Other times just had it dangling on my ear, like chaos, or I was having a smoke. Yeah, I didn't even do that. The only times I wore a mask was when I was in school doing the program, and only if I couldn't get more than 6 feet away from somebody. They made a mistake by giving us medically accurate information at first, and then trying to change it later. Okay, anyway, audio warning again. Okay. And of course, now that I've got the mask on, I can't just blow the stuff out of the way. I have to move it. I had a compressed can of air out here. What do I do with it? Do I actually finally take it back indoors? I think I must have. Okay. Well, I'll do what I can here with this. Okay. What does that side look like? Not too bad. Okay. Okay. Okay, so
If the more eagle-eyed amongst you were paying attention, you noticed that I didn't put my glasses on right away before I started using the tool. And that's actually an extremely bad choice. There we are. Oh, well. Oh, okay. Well, you hit the floor. You're done. And honestly, I'm hopeful that I'm done with the rotary tool anyway. The saw I'm going to leave for a little bit. I'll have to grab another set of earplugs for that anyway. It is what it is. Let's see what we've got here. Issue Peltor, find your lack of faith. No, you don't have to wear. Yeah, okay. Yeah, when it came to the COVID thing, I mean, they gave us medically accurate information first, and then they tried to change it later. And then they tried to make everybody feel shamed for paying attention to the initial instructions that, that they gave us. Fuck off. Anyway, now that I've got this possibly badly shaped, let's see how our fit is. Okay, so I need to take a little more from that angle. So, as you can see, this almost sits in, but that angle is just a little too far up. So what I'm going to do is hold that against that, tip it in against my chest, and make a mark for where I've got to take some off. Okay, and yeah, I'm definitely going to need the hearing protection again. Okay. So, what I'm going to do is get another set of earplugs. I'm going to leave the rotary tool hanging, and I'm going to use one hand to hold the tool. It's on its lowest setting. I'm going to use my other hand to move the piece back and forth just to get that curve cut out properly. It shouldn't take very long. And if anyone happens to know a way to sterilize plastic earplugs, let me know. Because at this point, I'd really like to be able to sterilize them and reuse them. Because cutting costs wherever I can is important at this point. Being the poor. Okay. And if I recall correctly, that pack of earplugs actually cost me about $30, $40. Yeah, they're not cheap. Not here, anyway. The downside being there are very few places to get things like that here. Let's bring live chat back up. Oops. Antiseptic wipes or something. Light it on fire is definitely 100% sterile. Slightly less usable. And to be honest, I don't even know that antiseptic wipes would be adequate. So I'll just do my best not to overuse them. Okay, now I won't need the mask again because most of the soot is gone. Which reminds me just to clean up this little canal here. There we go. Yeah, there's very little soot left in that, so I'll let you guys watch what I'm doing. Okay, let's see how our fit works. Not quite. Take a little bit off one corner. See where I slipped a little bit, nicked out that corner there. I'm not too concerned about it. Again, that's a quick burn and fix. What matters is whether or not this sits down into it. And I would say that's an almost. It's very close, but I need to take some more of the material out of the inside bottom of that hole. And where can I take? Okay. I'll take a little more off the rim as well. I'll take that from here. And at this point, you can tell that I'm kind of angling this way into the hole so that the lip of it holds more securely than the bottom. There we are, good and solid. Yeah, and you can tell how deep I got it in by the gloss on the bottom of this. That's where the hardened wood rubbed against the hardened wood. So, now all I have to do is put a little bit of glue in that hole, put that back in, and those two pieces are done. And I am being somewhat sparing with my glue, which, for the record, actually is a good way to clean your fingers. Once you rub it on and rub it off, it takes a lot of the dirt with it. I did forget to burn that one section right here up against the base. I'll do that really quickly now. Come on, you. There we are. And that's literally all I had to do was just put a bit of color on it. It'll disappear once I do the sand. The final burn that I'm going to do is going to be very light. It's going to be very time consuming, so I probably won't do it on camera. And I'm going to sit down and have a cigarette and a chat with you guys, then I'm done for a while. But before I do that, I will show you guys what we've accomplished today. So there we are. And now it's just to put a backing on that, and we have bookends. Although what I might do is put the back on this side, on the ends instead. Though the problem with that is, oh, and I'm still shouting because I have my earplugs in still. The problem with, let's come over here and I'll sit down for a moment. The problem with putting those, the extra pieces on the ends is that, let's actually move this in a little closer. What am I hooked up on? Okay. The tripod started to collapse. No big deal. So, what, oof. Oh, that's hard on the knees. Light it on fire, 100% sterile. Yes, yes indeed. Blade stakes bookends? Sure. I would prefer to call them hornwood. Or wooden horns. But, Holly Midlife says good afternoon. Hi, Holly. Hopefully you're still here. It's, oh yeah, you haven't gone anywhere yet. It's less than a minute since you said hello. Thanks for popping in. So yeah, hopefully you just saw the completed horns with their bases. And the next thing I have to do now is to put a back on them. And as I've been vacillating a fair bit about what material I'm going to use, I'm thinking perhaps I may just, well, I won't leave them as they are, because there's simply not enough mass to hold books together. I'm thinking in terms of a bookshelf like I would have had when I was younger, where I had a bunch of very, very thick science fiction compilation books. Things like Guardians of the Flame, which was Joel Silverberg, if I remember right. Might have been Rosenberg. I can't remember the first name that goes with Rosenberg. But I had a pile of Science Fiction Book Club collection editions. Dude, it's a four-wheeler, not a fucking Harley. Put a muffler on it. Anyway, I knew Christopher would make a comment about me being tempered by the four-wheeler. So yeah, that's basically the worst part. Yeah, four-wheeler go vroom. Yeah, four-wheeler go bleh. I honestly don't mind the sound of an engine. I really dislike the sound of an unmuffled, improperly tuned engine. But that's me. And I'm no fan of two-strokes. I believe a vehicle is meant to have four wheels and doors and a roof. But anyway. Well, depending on the vehicle, if it's plain, maybe three wheels. Or maybe floats, pontoons, what have you. Yes. Christopher Everard, Harleys. Yeah. I'm not even that big a fan of Harleys, but the way I look at it is if your vehicle is going to have less material than a car and it makes that much noise, it should have a Harley Davidson badge on it somewhere. So yeah, those horns are complete. That's other than as I said, the touch up burns, because there's a couple of bare spots on the horns as well that need to be kind of redone. The beautiful thing about that is all I'm going to have to do is burn and sand, and then spray it with varnish. Uh, Maybe once, maybe twice. Excuse me, maybe only once. Because generally what happens, the reason you have to sand varnish or lacquer or any finish other than, say, a thick paint, is when you moisturize wood, it raises fibers, and there's actually a way to fix dents in wood using a rag, some water, and a hot iron, like you would use a clothing iron. Uh, Ironically, the same trick also takes some of that white out of furniture that's wooden, that's gotten that weird white coloring on it because of hot cups. Uh, but with these pieces, because they're technically fire hardened, I don't think I'm going to have to do a second coat with the varnish, because the first coat, if I lay it down smooth and light enough, uh, it shouldn't be necessary to sand it, because there are no fibers to stand up because of the wood hardening process it's gone through. I could potentially take a piece of this stuff and basically set the horns down on it, and then do a sloping cut kind of along the edge. Just do a minor slope here, and that would be enough to hold books. Actually, what I would do is put the bases here and probably just put a slope there, so that when, if a tip started to be pushed on, it would go this way. I don't know, I had to work out the physics of it. Option B is just take a big chunk of 2x6 and smash on the back end. Which, if I had a bandsaw, I would just resaw this down the middle. Though with that big knot in there, with two big knots actually, I would probably end up scrapping the back end of this, and possibly the front end, because the knot goes right through. That's one of the worst things about reclaimed structural lumber. It tends not to be anywhere near as good quality as reclaimed furniture would. Well, anything before, say, 2010. Yeah, okay. Other than that, there's not a lot going on. Today is, in fact, Friday, right? Oh, I have to sweep that again. Yes, it is, in fact, Friday. So tomorrow, of course, I have the Sultans of Shadilay in the morning. It looks like we're going to have quite a crowd tomorrow, so that's going to be awesome. It'll take some of the workload off my voice, which is always nice. If you haven't seen it, and I know Holly, you just came in. If you haven't seen it, my buddy, the Shades of Dominion, him and my other buddy, Cassandra Garduna, did a live stream right before I started mine over on the Shades of Dominion channel, talking about the origins of the game. So if you're interested in tabletop role-playing, or being that Cass is a visual artist, if you're interested in just a conversation between creatives, you might enjoy that. Prime Knight says he has a small segment on the Swedish election for the podcast. Excellent. That'll be very interesting. I think in that case, then, I should probably work up something about Pierre Poilievre, who just won the Conservative leadership here in Canada. Not really a conservative in my lights, but yeah. I work tomorrow, so something to listen to. Yeah, we usually go 4 or 5 hours, so yeah, we'll keep you entertained most of the day. Ow, smoke in my eye. I really ought to quit smoking. Have I seen the Ottawa shop teacher? Does he wave like this? Is he flipping people off by going, read? What is it you're looking for a link for, Holly? The Shades of Dominion? or the Sultans of Shadilay. I'll grab my phone and post them. And actually, Primed, if you'd be so kind as to post those in chat, that would be awesome. Most important for a politician today is, are you with the WEF agenda? Yeah, and one of my bigger disappointments was that Dan Crenshaw apparently appears to be a WEF guy, though some people have told me that he apparently was added to their list unwillingly. I don't know how much truth there is in that. Let's see. I do on that one. Oh, okay. Okay. What I'll do, I'll just grab the links for Holly real quick. Okay. Because those are the first two search results on my share. Copy link. Those are the first two search results. Bloody hell. First two search results on my YouTube anyway. Redux Info Ontario High School. Okay, I will definitely check that out in just a second. Bringing up my live chat. For Holly, here is the Shades of Dominion. He's only at 21 or 22 subscribers at this point. And why do I have a crown in chat? That's just weird. Who the hell would put me in? Oh wait, it's my channel. And I'll grab the Sultans of Shadilay now as well. There, and Sultans of Shadilay, and share. Copy link. Bring up my chat. And Sultans of Shadow. Oop, no, that's Swing. That's a good song. There we are. And both of those should now. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Oh, he's up to 24. That's awesome. Yeah. Someone earlier on, I think it was Emerald FX GT or Emerald GT FX. I forget exactly the acronym at the end of your name. And this was before they called me handsome, silly. They pointed something out that I've just completely lost the thread of my thought on now. We'll come right back down. Oh, they had suggested that I was on the road to 1,000. While that would be nice, I don't know. I'm honestly humbled just by the fact that I've got to 100. And I think I'm actually well over 100 now. Subbed and belled, thanks Arden. No problem, Holly. I know the guys will be very thankful for the support. And considering I'm one of the guys, I'm very thankful for the support. Oh my, what was I doing? Checking my sub count. Yeah, 4 people watching, that's amazing. Close, how many subs do I have? 120. I've apparently lost one somewhere in the last couple of days, but who knows, that may have been a bot account, or it may have been someone who disagreed with something I said. Prime Knight said the article I posted is in Sultans Discord in America section, which is my fault, should be in Canuck section. Okay, excellent. If I spot it, I'll see if I can move it or repost it. So for right now, folks, given that it is an hour and 10 minutes I've been doing this, and it's just after 5, and I haven't eaten yet today, because it's Friday and I generally don't eat much anyway. Let's see. Holly says she did her first live last week and had 10 watching. It was incredibly humbling and nerves out the wazoo, but it was fun and we'll do it again for sure. I'm sorry I missed that. What day did you do it? Thanks, Brian. You have a good day too. Yeah, what day did you do your stream, Holly? Because if you have a set schedule, then I will set an alarm so that I don't miss it again, unless it conflicts with something else I'm doing, which, good gods, it's almost impossible to find something that doesn't conflict. Anyway, while I'm waiting for that message to come in, I'm going to put my stuff away here. I can't make any promises, but I may be back out here this evening later on working. So if I do, I will live stream. But as always, my live streams are random for stuff like this. There is, of course, the Sunday stream. And what do we got going on? Okay. Anyway, Holly, assuming that your channel has the same name as you do, I will be subbing to that shortly anyway. But I'm subbed to so many things that I keep missing. I can't remember the last time, for instance, that she has a rotating work schedule, so lives will be wonky. Excuse me, not good for building an audience, but good for fun. Not necessarily, if... Put the wrong button up. Okay, do a search. Give me a search. Holly Midlife. I must be subbed already. I am, in fact, subbed. Holy crap, you got 542 subscribers. Go you! Let's chat live with Holly Midlife. Oh, I've watched your content before. Yeah, I like your stuff. Okay, so I've got that live added to my watch later, so I will, hopefully get to it. It's not simping, I'm an old grandma. I don't think you're that much older than me, Holly. You might have, 5, 6 years on me? I'm only 46. Anyway, before I go, I will have one last smoke. And if anybody's got any crazy, odd questions you want to ask, feel free. 49. Good gods, woman. You're not old. And excuse me, what's wrong with simping for somebody who's only 3 years older than I am? Settle down, Christopher. Here, this one's for you, Christopher. Bad, 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 Belgian. Yeah, I like to joke that I have bad knees, and people go, "Oh, but you're not old enough to have really bad knees." No, it's not the years; it's the friggin' mileage. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I will definitely keep an eye out for your lives then, Holly. Hi, Kingdom. Welcome back. Just in time for me to have my last smoke and take off. Christopher says he's 34 and already feels like an old man. When I was in my early 30s, well, actually, even before I was in my early 30s, even in my late 20s, I felt a lot older than I was, and I didn't appreciate how very young I really was at the time. And there is a funny quote coming at the end of this, but for a long time, I felt like I tended to talk and think like I was a lot older than I was. And once I started to actually take control of the way I thought about my life and really focus on my inner dialogue or my inner narrator and what it was telling me, I found that I was feeling much younger. People would tell me how I looked a lot younger than I am. I still very rarely, and I had to be in an incredibly good mood. I still very rarely get ID'd for cigarettes, which, I'm sorry, I'm 46. I'm, 19, 46, 7, 27 years since I've had to be ID'd legally. So, I'm doing okay, I think. Prime Knight says he's 32, went working out 3 to 4 a week, started Boohart. Age is, in fact, a state of mind unless it's a real medical condition. Well, I don't think we're all suffering from progeria, so... Christopher says he also thinks a freaking lot about my legacy, what I'll leave behind me when I pass away. Well, yeah, you do have to keep in mind that someday you will not be here, and the things you have done will be left behind for other people to assess. For me, part of the reason I do the YouTube thing. I do like leather, but if I were buying a jacket, it would not be a bomber style jacket. It would probably be something closer to a trench coat or a duster. I want something that's going to block the wind pretty much from here to my ankles. And then I'll just put a hoodie inside that. Okay, see you later, Holly. You have a good day. I have actually had a look at the Abbey leather stuff that you posted, and it's interesting. It's not really my style, though. What else have we got going on here? Yeah, you do have to. It's good to keep in mind that you have a legacy to build, but don't stress too much over it, because that will take away from your passion for the project. For example, if I focus, like if I'm in the house doing something else, and I allow what I'm letting slide out here to weigh on my mind, or if you guys know Disco makes fun of me over my thumbnails. If I allowed something like that to really weigh on me, then the enjoyment factor of doing things like the YouTube channel, of doing woodworking on camera, that would disappear. And I know Disco is not intentionally trying to stress me out, and I don't mean to imply that she is, or that she is in fact stressing me out. All of that comes from my reaction to what she says. As with offense. Speaking of offense, the funny quote that I was going to bring up is from Groucho Marx. And basically that goes, you are only ever as old as the woman you feel. Or sorry, a man is only ever as old as the woman he feels. Which, I'm sorry, I absolutely love Groucho. Though I'm sure if I looked into his background, just like any other celebrity, he's got dark stuff. In any case, guys, that's going to be it for now. I may come back out in a couple of hours. It depends on what happens with the rest of my day. Any second now, I believe there's another stream starting that I usually watch, which is Friday Night Tights. Mostly because I want to keep up on the pop culture stuff, and because, well, I find those people extremely entertaining. I'll bring that up real quick. See what we've got for notifications. I am, in fact, still live. Go figure. I've got a comment. Oh, someone pretending to be Kalayan Noir has told me that they want me to email or contact a phone number by text. Guys, seriously. And this is no slight to Kalayan Noir or anyone else who this happens to, but right there, you see it says text to this number. Oh, I accidentally started the memology video when I was turning my hand over. But that's a scam. Don't fall for that. And if you have fallen for it, do what you can to, negate the issue. If you sent someone money and that money has not been collected yet, get to your bank and cancel it. And whether that's online or in person, yeah. An interesting thing about a lot of scams, if your English and your spelling and your grammar are good, it's much harder to catch you in a scam. But that's why, in some cases, scammers will intentionally misspell or misuse grammar, because they want to filter out the really smart people who might be offended enough to go, I'm calling the cops on you. That would be me, by the way. I've done that multiple times. Never did hear back from the RCMP about any investigation, so who knows. Most likely these are international things that they simply can't deal with. They probably hand them to Interpol. Anyway, now that I've successfully sucked the life completely out of that cigarette, I will wish you all a good day. Hope that you continue to have good days, and tell you to rise and rise again until lambs become lions. Bye-bye.